How to grow viola. This is what viola seed look like. I sow viola seeds by broadcasting them evenly across the soil surface. Keep soil moist until seeds germinate. Viola need darkness to germinate. For me, optimal temperature for viola germination 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. In this video I use about 10 viola seeds. For me, viola seeds usually germinate between day 7 to day 12. Viola seeds start to germinate. This is what viola cotyledon look like. For me, viola success germination rate depend on seed's quality, seed age, moisture and temperature. When you propagate viola from seed, it is common to have some seeds fail to germinate. It seems my germination rate for viola for this time are about 50%. For me, on average viola seed viability are about 1 year. Seed viability is greatly affected by its quality at the time of collection, its treatment between collection, storage and the conditions in which it is stored. Viola are cool weather plants, they can and will survive a frost, even a hard freeze for a period of time. But if temperatures reach to -12 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Fahrenheit, viola root will start having difficulty to absorb water from soil for photosynthesis. Viola true leaf start to emerge. Prolonged exposure to temperatures below -12 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and drying winds can kill the plants. Optimal growing temperatures for viola are from 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Soil I use for growing viola contain cocoa peat, red burn soil, micro, fine sand, old humus and charcoal. Violas grow best in loamy, well-drained soil. You can use whatever growing media available to your convenience. Optimal soil pH for growing viola 5.4 to 6.2 pH. My soil pH, when I try to grow viola, are about 7 pH. Growing viola in rich soil, nutrient-dense soil, will resulting in more flower blooms. Viola need at least 6 hours of sun to thrive. Violets like full sun, but not the heat it come with. Viola do need some shade during the hottest part of the afternoon. In my climate, I grow my viola in semi-shade location. Container size I use for growing viola, height 22 centimeters, width 29 centimeters. You also can grow viola in bigger container than mine. The bigger the container, the bigger root system will develop and will resulting bigger healthy plant. If grow viola in the garden, space plants around 25.4 centimeters, 10-inch apart. On average, my water usage for growing viola are about 250 milliliters. In my climate, I water my viola every day. Time I water my viola is between 7 to 8 a.m. If raining, I don't water my viola plant. Water usage depend on container size, container type, weather and climate you live in. Your water usage may be different than me. For me, it's easier to overwater than underwater. Overwatering will promote root rot. Viola prefer to grow in temperate climate. Viola dislike to grow in high rainfall, high heat and humid climate conditions. Viola grow in USDA hardiness zones 3 to 8. Viola are from Violaceae family. Viola are propagated by seed. Viola are grow as annuals or short-lived perennials. Viola mature size are about 4 to 8 inch in height. Viola flower color are from light to deep violet, blue, cream, white, purple-black, yellow, and peach. Viola's flower are edible. Viola flower often used to decorate cakes and other baked goods. Viola's flower also can be added in salads. Do not eat violas bought in flower shops, because they may have been sprayed with toxic pesticides. For unrefined taste bud like me, viola taste like lettuce. My minimum temperature, when growing viola, is 24 degrees Celsius. My maximum temperature, when growing viola, is 33 degrees Celsius. My average humidity, when growing violas, are about 88%. I grow my viola in tropical climate. Viola native to Northern Hemisphere. Viola usually grown as ground cover in the garden. Viola also can be used as low edgings for borders. Viola are suitable to grow in the container. Viola also suitable for hanging baskets. Since viola self-sows freely, deadhead if you do not want volunteer seedlings for next season. Deadhead also encourage more blooms, and by deadheading we can maintain an attractive plant's appearance. When growing my viola, I use liquid fertilizer. I use fertilizer on my viola for every 3 weeks. You can use whatever fertilizer available to your convenience. If you see your plant struggling and want to use fertilizer, please don't overfeed the plant. Sign of over-fertilizer are defoliation, very slow or no growth, yellowing and wilting of lower leaf and browning leaf tips. Please read and follow the instructions carefully before starting using any fertilizers. If your container have some weeds grow in it, you need to do some weed control. Weed control is done to limit weed infestations and minimize competition between viola and noxious weeds. Weeds compete with violas for water, nutrients, space and light. My favorite method for controlling weeds is pulling out the weeds by hands. Flower bud emerging. By doing this early in the growing season, it will reduce the time required for hand weeding later in the season. Weed control is important due to some weeds also harbor insects and diseases, which may then spread to nearby plant. When you're doing weed control, your viola will thank you by producing more flowers. Viola can be susceptible to slugs, deers, aphids, leaf miners and snails. Viola can be infected with downy mildew, crown rot, aster yellows, black root rot, rust and powdery mildew. When I growing violas, I didn't encounter any pest. When I growing viola, I didn't encounter any diseases. When I growing viola, I didn't using an herbicide or pesticide. The only thing I need to watch when growing viola are watering and hot temperatures. Soil temperature taken at 2 p.m. Violas are easy to grow, low to maintenance, and everyone who loves flower should try to grow them. Viola flower size are about 2.5 centimeters, and much smaller compared to pansy. Thank you for watching.